he took up in the previous shloka, out of the 6 concepts, he took up jnanam, karma, and karta. 3 things. Okay. So he's going to explain that. Lord is going to say, Sarva bhuteshu ena ekam. Sarva bhuta means all beings. Ena, by which ekam. Bhavam, nature. Avyayam, imperishable. Ikshate, if you can see. You see. Avibhaktam, you see them undivided. Vibhakteshu, even if they are divided outside. Tat jnanam viddhi satvikam. That type of knowledge is sattvic knowledge. Let us look at how knowledge is sattvic. So this has been explained in our philosophies. Not if we are all resting on one consciousness. The example we've always discussed it. Imagine a big, massive silk sari with golden dots everywhere. So you and I, all of us are those golden dots. And that big sari is the screen of consciousness. On that screen, we are all acting. Yeah, little dots. So even the animals, dogs and the cockroach and the cat and the rat and the bat, all of them are also those little dots only. The size of the dot may vary, but we're all connected. So that is why when we destroy nature, when we destroy earth, like pollute earth, cut trees, kill an animal, we are destroying ourselves. So we are making a shade in that big, massive piece of cloth, the silk cloth that you have, on which we're all dots, right? So you see it like that. So Lord is saying that avibhaktam vibhakteshu tat jnanam vitti satvikam. If you have a sattvic buddhi, you won't want to hurt anything. You will see everything as belonging to the same avyaya purusha, the avyaya consciousness. You will see them avibhaktam, undivided. You will see the same Brahman, meaning the same consciousness is existing inside everything. Everyone hurts. Every being has a emotion. Whether even if it is a ocean, you can't throw the dirt in the ocean or in the mud or anything. You can't pollute. So if you have that kind of knowledge, you're born with that kind of awareness. That means you're a sattvic being already. Your seeking mode has started in your past lives only. So this is a very common thing in today's world, children. You see, for example, my daughter, she will also not give me any scope. We cannot badmouth any religion. We cannot badmouth any gender. Today we have multiple genders, LGBTQ. It's okay. That is okay. We cannot tout any system to be superior to the other. There is no judgment in today's children, especially the educated ones, children of educated people. Meaning these people are not from this world. They have come from higher universes. Paramahansa Yogananda said this very clearly. After I'm gone, the world will open up into higher realizations, higher. We're going to ascending Dwapara Yuga. Beings from other universes who are developed will come here, will be coming, and they will be having sattvic jnana. If you go little older generation, especially you would have seen one generation before or 2 generations before, it was very miserable. Very miserable. Even our country, every country, killing in the name of caste, dividing in the name of Shudra, Brahman, Kshatriya. Today, the casteism has come down so much. Literally, they wouldn't even look at a Shudra. They spit. A woman was considered lower. So it is changing, and it's changing for the good. Every day is better than the previous day. So we're in good times. So that is Sattvic Jnana. Now, then the Lord says, Prataktvena tu yat jnanam nana bhava pratakvidan vetti sarveshu bhuteshu tat jnanam vetti rajasam. Rajasic knowledge is science, chemistry, maths, super speciality. What are you? Brain surgeon. Okay. No. I am specializing only in spine surgeon. Or I am an ENT doctor. So that is the example. Typical. You will break down one specific subject called science into smaller and smaller and smaller parts. Prataktvena tu yat jnanam. So that is Rajasic Jnana. What is it? He says, Lord says, Pratak means different, which is not connected. To Yat Jnanam. You will think the knowledge is not connected. Nothing is connected to each other. And so, Pritakttvena tu yat jnanam, nana bhavan, different bhavas. You'll think each one has differences. So Western scientists think that, cows, maybe they agree now. Just about 20, 30 or 40 years back, the only reason why they had factory farming of killing 1,000 cows in a day for food, massive food manufacturing, which most of it goes waste, by the way, today. It has come out in the open. So much food which comes out of the factory farming doesn't get consumed because it has a shelf life. How much can you, like meat and things like that just get putrid overnight, just like milk. So, what is the reason? They said that goats and cattle and sheep don't have emotions. And today through videos, you can see goats crying and all of them have emotions. They also feel the motherly instinct. They feel sad. Even a chicken feels it. Today, scientists have come to the understanding that chicken has an intellect of a developed intellect of a 3-year-old child. It knows it's going to be killed. It knows everything. Okay, and a dog has a 7-year-old child's intellect. A cat has 4 to 5-year-old. A crow has a 7-year-old intellect. How is that for us? So they are going to come into human bodies, right? So they're growing the intellect. Paramahansa Yogananda is told in this. So if you break their necks and kill them for your food, what you're going to do is carry the karma, because they have an evolutionary cycle too. They want to become humans. They want to express God, the soul's journey. You're not letting it happen. So in the next life, you have to ensure it happens. How it will be, you will ensure for all the chickens you have eaten, next life you're going to take on all that karma and ensure that so many souls are going to get benefited. In what manner? That will depend on our scrolls when we go to our destiny there. When we go to the astral world, we will decide that. So that is why it is wrong. Prithaktvena tu yat jnana. Thinking like that, different things, and they are different bhavas, nana bhava, prithakvida, they're all different. I'm different. Vetti, knowledge. Sarveshu bhuteshu, of all the beings, you're thinking like this, classifying them, studying them separately. That jnanam vidyaraj. It's a passionate, rajasic knowledge. Although it seems very important, trust me, in future, when the world goes into Satyukata, there will be no science as it is today, chemistry, biology, physics. The science will be, you will still understand science, physics, chemistry, and biology, but you'll not classify them. That is the reason in India, we do not have a differentiation between science and God. God is science, science is God. Very easy for an Indian who is a Sanatana Dharmi to understand Vedanta. That is why physicists, theoretical physicists in the Western world, they say when we study Vedanta, we feel like we are studying theoretical physics. It is physics. Basically, it's physics. So there's no differentiation here because they studied science through Sattvic Jnana, through Sattvic knowledge. They understood it from within. They understood medicine, Ayurveda from within. They understood everything from within. The antediluvian people, because we were in a higher age that time, the last descending Satyuga, the last descending Treta Yuga. Yeah, we know it. Why? Because we have a guru. Without a guru, many people out there still don't believe in things like this, but it will come out in the future. So this is Rajasic Jnana. Yattu kritsnavade kasmin karye vade kasmin karye saktamahaitukam athatvartavadalpam cha tattamasamudahritam. So Lord says here, Yat, which Kritsnavat, that which is encompassing the whole, ekasmin, in single, karye saktam, engrossed in one single activity, ahaitukam, without any reason, athatvata arthavat, without having any meaning, arthavat, athatvat. Athatvat also may be lies or which is not following the essence of truth. Alpam, little bit, chatat tamasam udahritam. So that Lord says that kind of knowledge. So when you're thinking, actually, this will again give example of science only, present day science and social studies, chemistry that we study. So here Lord says that, but no, it will not go. You're studying a whole concept. You believe it is a whole truth, a whole concept, but it is not. Something like very base useless knowledge that people will still go and study. Like, for example, um, let us look at any negative kind of example, no? Like, for example, killing, murdering, you want to be a hitman, you want to be a sniper, or you want to be a drug seller. There are people who are teaching these things, aise karo, waise karo. It's all, you believe it's something good is going to happen. Okay, you can take jihad, for example, very interesting example. you you believe you are doing a very important activity, you believe it's your avidya, you're doing you are strapping a suicide bomb and you're walking into a crowded bus. You believe that you're doing the most important activity because for you that's your goal. But it's starting from the tamasic thought. It is also a very fragmented, unhappy concept, immoral concept, and it does not preach the truth. And there's no truth involved in it. Such kind of activities are, such kind of knowledges are jnana and are tamasing. And even such teaching such knowledge is also wrong. That you practice jihad, you do that. It's a typical example. Or even there are apparently coaching for becoming a thief, becoming like Khandani thieves apparently, who believe, who worship some god, goddess, and say, Lord, I'm going to thief. Yeah. Another thing I want to say here is, Ma Kali Ghost Bhandar. Okay, when you're driving, you'll see. So they're going to sell you meat, and the guilt feeling in them makes them say that this is Ma Kali's. Why? Because Kali Ma's tongue is out because she's symbolizing Kechari Mudra. They don't know that. And because she killed Rakshasas, they think she likes to generally destroy even dumb and mute, beautiful lambs and ducks and goats and chickens. So they, to overcome the guilt of ignorance, of killing, the man, the owner will, who's a butcher, will name it as Ma Kali Wo. Okay, Bhairav, Bhairav. Okay. इसके बारे में बहुत कम ही बोले सही है ये सब चीज. Okay. So then Lord says, so this is jnana, which is stupid and ignorant jnana. So we should be aware. If the Gita was talked to him, he would have stopped that activity long back. Another example is, मेरे फादर भी बुच्छर थे, इसलिए मैं भी बुच्छरिंग करूंगा. मैंने यही सीखा है. Again, that तामस अतत्वार्थ अल्पम च, उसमें कोई ट्रूथ एंड एसेंस कुछ नहीं. यू कैन इजीली बिकम अ फ्रूट सेलर. कपड़े बेचो, कपड़े का दुकान रखो, ज्यादा पैसा मिलेगा. नो, दैट वे हिज ब्रेन वोंट टू थिंक एट ऑल. इट इज सो संकुचित. See how Lord is explained. We need to have examples. Then Lord comes to, we finish jnana, then karma and karta. He's going to explain this. In the 90th, he said that. So then Lord says, Niyatam sangarahitam aragatveshatah kritam afala prepsuna karma yattat satvikam uchyate. Niyatam sangarahitam. Always not being attached. Aragadveshatah kritam. This is karma. Not having any raga and dvesha, attachment, like likes and dislikes with that karma, whatever it is. Afala prepsuna karma. Now, not expecting any result out of this, not expecting any phala. Yatta satvikam uchyate. That karma is sattvic karma. Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena vapuna kriyate bahulayasam tatrajasam. When you see, it's all again the mental thought process. Lord says, when you have a lot of desire to do something, I'm going to do this, I'm going to show this to the world that I can do. Observe your intentions deeply, why you're doing an activity. So when you do it with ahankarena, I want to show, I want to do this. Kamepsuna, sa ahankarena, va punaha, kriyate bahula ayasam. Will have energy. It draws from the soul and it gets tired also because it lives in Prakriti. But when the soul does it very, anayasam it becomes. Okay. So that is Sattvika. Soul ensures that it is being done through the ego. But the ego does it because it has its own desires. Bahula ayasam, tat rajasam udahritam. That is called rajasic activity. Then Lord says, Anubandam kshayam himsam anapekshya cha paurusham mohadharapyate karma tattamasamudahritam. Anubandam. So what is the few? It is going to bind. Bandhan karega. Kshayam. Kshayam is going to get destroyed. Himsam. It causes injuries to the others as well as yourself. Anapeksha cha paurusham. So it doesn't really bother about this kind of karma, doesn't really care about what other activities. Paurusham is capabilities you possess. For me, the only thought that comes is butchering. A man can do anything else, no? Instead of taking an animal, cutting, slitting its throat. I've been very, very conscious about this from a little kid, from the age of like 4 or 5. Yeah, 5, I guess. Before that, I had no sense, but yeah. So, how can you do that? You have paurusham, you have so much energy in your body. You can do anything. You can climb a tree, you can build houses, you can do anything. Right? Moha darabhyate. So you're doing it through some kind of desire, an easy job hai wo. उसमें क्या है? You're not bothered कि वैसे करने से मेरे को कितना कर्म फल मिल रहा है. Maybe another 900 lives. Okay, Anubandham. Kshayam, destroying others. Himsam, I'm giving violence and causing pain for others. Anapeksha is a powerful, not even bothered about God's given me intellect, knowledge, thinking capacity. Moha dharabhyate karma. Full of delusion, that karma. Yattat tamasamuchyate. That is tamasic activity. And there's an example also, this one. Jihad also. Somebody is trapping up this one on you. Bomb. Somebody has brainwashed you. Didn't you have your own brain? Didn't you have your own paurusham to think? Little break that shell, come out of it. Killing another person. These things are not correct activities. This is mohadara. This kind of karma is very tamasic. Then the last bit, Lord is explaining karta. Karta is agent. Agent is one who does the activity. So, Lord, this is karta, agent. So Lord says, Mukta Sango Naham Vadi Dhrutyutsaha Samanvitaha Siddhya Siddhyo Nirvikaraha Karta Satvika Muchyate. So this is a Satvika person, how he works. A Satvika action being done by a Satvik person is a very powerful activity. You're not expecting any results. The Mukta Sangaha, you're also not attached. Anaham Vadihi, you're not doing for the ego, you're doing for the service of others, not for your own self. Dhriti Utsaha Samanvita, you'll be filled with energy from the soul, Utsaha, zeal, Samanvita, filled with Siddhi Asiddhi Nirvikaraha. You'll also not be attached to the work, whether you get paid or not. Nirvikaraha, Siddhya Asiddhya Nirvikara. Karta Satvikam Uchyate. So that is a Sattvic set of activities. Then what is Rajasic activity? Lord says, Ragi Karma Phala Prepso Lubdo Himsatmako Shuchihi Harsha Shokanvita Karta Rajasa Parikirtitaha. Guruji explains this very previous Sattvika work very interestingly. Suppose you are maintaining a garden for your owner. You have an owner, he buys you the plants and gives it to you. You're maintaining, you're getting paid. You know the garden belongs to your owner. You're going to tend it with care because you know you are responsible for the roses which are being, coming up in that garden. Satvika karma. You will tend those roses because every time your owner walks in, he wants to see such a beautiful garden full of roses and lilies and geraniums and God knows what. So you are careful because if you tend it well, the plant, it will grow well. But you are not attached because tomorrow, if a rose dies, you're not going to sit and cry. What are you going to do? You're going to tell your owner, look, I don't know why, I did my level best, but the rose didn't come up well. Maybe we'll get another plant and plant it there. So this is how God wants us to act in this world. We came here, we did our level best, we tried to do these things, and then leave the rest, Tyaga, to God. I did my best, Lord, and I was doing it for you. So Guruji says, when you know that your activities are being done for a Brahma karma, then you know You're not attached to it, but you will do it with dhrityutsaha samanvita, with utsaha, and because you know somebody is watching. The observer effect in the double slit experiment. Remember that? If you don't understand, post class we'll talk to that. Then Lord says, Ragi. Now, if you're doing it for yourself, you buy it, the roses, you will put it in the garden, you'll be full of, oh, rose आया नहीं आया, oh, ये rose नहीं आया, मैं मर गया, 100 rupees पे किया मैंने उसके लिए. It is so painful. Ragi karma phala prepsu. He's expecting the phala, rose to come out very well. He's always hungering for it. Lubda, he's very greedy for it. Himsatmaka, he can also hurt or kill somebody. तुमने मेरे रोज को मारा, एक चाटा. That is himsatmaka. He's violent. Ashuchi, mentally not pure, full of anxiety. That's ashuchi. Harsha shoka anvita. So he's always happy or sad, very depressed or extremely excited. Anvita karta rajasamuchita. That's a rajasic karta. Then Lord says, Ayukta prakrita stabda shato naishkriti kolasa vishadi dirga sutricha karta tamasamuchyate. Lord says, Ayukta is not disciplined. He's not sure he wants to do that work at all in the beginning. Prakrita, he can also go into any extent to do or not do that work. Prakrita, he's not interested in the work. For example, a murderer who's gone to murder somebody on some payment. He's not very sure he wants to do it. It's not very definite he wants, but he's ready to do it for some money or something. Stabdaha. He's obstinate. He becomes very violent in that state. Shato Naishkriti Kolasa. He can do any kind of planning. Shato Naishkriti, like the terrorists and all do that. No cunning activities there. Shato Naishkriti Kolasa. Alasa. Ka alasa. So Lord says that you will plan so deeply and naishkriti. It is not the right activity to do, but you'll cunningly plan. You've seen the villains and all in movies like that. Deeply they'll plan. Alasa. But in the free time, when they get the money, they will not work forever. Another 10, 15 months, they'll sit until they get the next terrorism planning activity. Vishadi, they will also be very sad because their activities are not good. They will be unhappy. Dirga Sutricha, sometimes they may push off their works for a long time because police is watching or something. Cha Karta Tamasamuchate. Drug addicts, robbers, chores, murderers, cunning people, people who cheat others to make money or get their own gains. They're all tamasic activity kartas. Hmm? Their activity doesn't follow any rule or specific code of conduct or anything. It is any time you'll do it, but you'll always be unhappy. That's what Lord says. Internally, they'll be violent natured and unhappy. More they'll do such work, more they'll become violent, more anxiety. Then finally, they'll become asuric in nature. So with this shloka, Lord has more or less covered the dissection of karma completely. So we finished 28th, right? 28th tak karma ka dissection is complete. So in the next, that is Monday, Lord is going to explain further things about related to karma, but not definitely karma related, completely like buddhi, dhriti. Dhriti is the capability, willpower to keep on going on, working. Sukha, the happiness that you get from this one. These three concepts Lord is going to explain. It's also related to the first 7, which is a chapter we taught, 18th chapter. So 18 shlokas related to that. So this we will cover on Monday. To buddhi, dhriti, and sukha, all related to the karma only. Then Lord explains how casteism is. Caste is also related to Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. It is also related to the Sattvic, Rasic, Tamasic mode of this world. And it is there. There is something called as caste. It is all, but Bhagwan Krishna explains it differently. He says it is the amount of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas inside you. Inside you. That is your caste. So unless we take a questionnaire and fill it and see how much Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is there, predominantly, always, then we can't understand whether we are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. By my birth, you cannot gauge whether, because a Brahman's child may do a murderous activity. Then he becomes a Tamasic guy. Then he's a Shudra. A Brahmin's guy can do some like can do something with that. So it's not according to, somewhere down the line after the Gita was spoken, it's all got mishmash. It's all got mishmash and mixed up, and that's how casteism was lost. So caste Lord will explain, then he explains Swadharma. Then he explains, after all this, he goes into a very high state of Jitatma state, after explaining Swadharma. And then Lord tells general talk about, how you should come to me, and I'm letting you, decide. I've told you everything now about karma, everything in detail I've told you. Whether you want to work or not is left to you. How you want to work is left to you. Okay, so that, and then with that the process. This is about the chapter. So I guess we'll do another 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. If required, even Wednesday, we will carry it forward. With that, we will be successfully completed. Let's take a moment.